bless. I don't sleep on no beef. We ain't sleeping no. You know I'm on top of everything. Run grass and they don't shoot cribs. They gon' give you one chance. Like come outside or we gon' come in, boy. When I pull up and make them catch a lot. Blue beam on that chopper. Kamehameha. I throw them Dragon Balls at you like I'm Kakarot.
This video is gonna have one of the hottest takes I've ever made because I know, I know 90% of the fan base is not gonna agree with me. And I did a poll, seeing how you guys felt about like who you think is better as an antagonist, Moro versus Jiren. And 82% of you agreed that Moro is a better antagonist. Now, again, very hot take here. I don't like Moro as much as I did back in the day. And I like Jiren a lot more than I used to back in the day. Because I even cracked jokes at Jiren, you know, because, again, the popular opinion around Jiren is he's boring, he's very cliche. But I'm not going to lie, man. Either it's the pacing, how this manga's been going, or I miss Jiren. And again, the difference between antagonist doesn't mean villain. Antagonist just means the person that's going against the protagonist. It doesn't mean that Jiren is a villain and he has to be evil like Moro is, because Moro is just pretty much mustache twirling villain. It's just Jiren was the antagonist of the Universal Survival Saga, and Moro is like the big villain of the Galactic Patrol. And I really feel like Moro has lost his luster over time because, quite frankly, his design is interesting, but not that cool. You can say anything about Jiren, but something about Jiren was very unique to me. Like, again, I don't know which is more unique because this is all subjective here. Which more unique, a freaking goat man or an alien man? You know what I mean? But I honestly found Jiren's techniques more interesting than Moro's, which is very surprising. Like that whole invisible eye technique, his little cool pose he does, and his little catchphrase, "It's over," has grown on me over time than this whole Moro just pretty much doing what every villain in Dragon Ball has done in the past, the whole like movie villain stick, or the whole like Majin Buu type thing, where all he does is just take punishment and absorb people's energy and he wins. And that seems like it's been the recycle of that too. And you can say the same thing about Jiren. Like, and I'm not saying Jiren is better than Moro by a drastic point. I'm just saying how these characters were used. I feel like Jiren so far, at least from what I've seen in Moro, the Moro arc, is used better. And I think, quite frankly, it's just that even though you could say Jiren's backstory is very stereotypical, but I feel like the hype around Jiren and like what he means for the overall mythos made him better for me than Moro. Because with Jiren, the hype of him being like stronger than the God of Destruction, him being like, you know, the apex of like he is the guardian to the next level above God of Destruction, made him way more interesting than Moro just being this guy where like he has some background behind the Grand Supreme Kai, and then he regains his youth like King Piccolo, and he ends up being stronger than the Gods of Destruction and everything like that. And he just ends up being stronger than UI Sign and stuff like that. Like it just didn't feel like it was earned, really. It just kind of felt like we got this guy who does a lot of Dragon Ball tropes, and I don't know, because again, like this is my own personal opinion, so I don't feel like I should be wrong by saying this, but I felt like the way Jiren was handled, yes, we waited a long time for his background, and trust me, I've seen all the videos of Totally Not Mark pretty much throwing around his character and everything, and you know, I've seen him, but I feel like the hype around Jiren really saved the character. Again, I'm a person where like I really like in-depth characters, I like character development, but I kind of like my stagnant characters who kind of maintain the same vibe. Like I don't need a Dragon Ball villain to be the most in-depth villain of all time, as long as he's cool and he brings up amazing fights. With the whole Moro thing, he doesn't really bring up over the top fights like that, at least in the manga. It just seems like it's just a constant repeat of like, how long can Goku and Vegeta fight him without his energy absorption kicking in, or him just kind of winning just because? And with Jiren, it was hype from the get-go before he even started fighting that he is that guy. With Moro, it was like, okay, yeah, you probably can't beat him, but like we don't really know his full potential. With Jiren, it's like his potential's through the max, and his whole thing about like, you know, not trusting friends and stuff like that, it was kind of cool because most of these villains are like straight up villains, like they're like, you know, they're here to take over the world, where Jiren was never a villain, and he was just a person that had different goals and different ideas than the protagonist. And he asked him like, yo Goku, why would you want to be stronger? I want to be stronger because I want to be able to stand on my own 2 feet, and I feel like if you rely on friends, I feel like you're not standing on your own. I feel like that's cowardly. And Goku was able to change his opinion on that at the end of the fight, because he showed him what you can do to go against someone that's so overly stronger than you. And I honestly grew to like that story plot a lot more. With Moro, it's just the same old of just like what power up can Goku and Vegeta get, or what can they do to, like, I guess what the main thing about Moro, which is carrying that story plot, is that it's more interesting seeing what Goku and Vegeta do to counter Moro than what Moro's actually doing. The coolest techniques Moro's can do so far is he's able to use some type of gravity manipulation, and it was kind of cool of him absorbing energy, but it's become kind of repetitive. And you can say the same thing about Jiren, but his imposing nature, his abilities using heat, his invisible eye techniques, all are way more like they have more flavor to them than what Moro has done so far, in my personal opinion. And it really sucks to say that, because I was really hyped for Moro for the longest time. But for me personally, I feel like Moro has lost a lot of his luster over time. And even the way he fought UI Goku, if you're not keeping up with this, it was just more interesting seeing what UI Goku did instead of what Moro did. And I can generally say, when Goku was fighting Jiren, I was actually really interested on like how Jiren was able to counter out UI, because he seemed like he had similar abilities to UI, and UI was such a brand new thing. And I think it's just the techniques and the transformations around Jiren and the way it was executed is way more fun and interesting to me than what's going on with Moro, because there's nothing really new. It's just mastering what we had against Jiren. You know what I mean? Like, Ultra Instinct was such an impactful thing, and like Ultra Instinct is one of my favorite transformations, and it's so like connected to Jiren that I guess it makes Jiren cooler, like looking back on it. And like with Moro, it's like, okay, we already know what Ultra Instinct is, and just Goku like learning a weaker version of it is not really making Moro cooler in that aspect, because Moro by himself is just just another tread of King Piccolo with a mixture of different other stuff from different villains. And yeah, so it's, again, I like Goku Black. Like, I like Beerus, I like Goku Black, I like Frieza more than both of these guys. Don't get it messed up. But I can say that I feel like we was a little bit, I think we was too hard on Jiren when he first came out. And I feel like looking back on him now, I like him more than our current villain. Now, you know, once Moro finally finished up his arc, I might make an update talking about how much I think Moro's better than Jiren, like, and looking back on it. I just think what really hurts Moro's character is that the pacing of these manga chapters, like, you know, they're monthlies, and most of we get out of Moro is just him grinning, being confident, and just like, yo, if you get close to me, I'll absorb your energy and I'll eat planets. Like, because again, he's supposed to be Dragon Ball's version of I say that word so badly, and people are going to think I'm saying it badly, but he's supposed to be Dragon Ball's version of Galactus, and he doesn't really do Galactus stuff, really, in my opinion. He doesn't have that imposing nature of a Galactus. Like, it's just that, like, we hear Goku Vegeta say, oh, his body, what is his body made of? But he just doesn't have that Galactus type imposing energy towards me. While Jiren had that final boss energy. And again, both of these characters' backgrounds and storytelling, I could say maybe Moro has more of an interesting backstory, but like, again, I don't need a Dragon Ball character to have the biggest thing. It's just how do you make a big impact, and how do you use that character? And I, quite frankly, I think Jiren was used pretty well as a gatekeeper. I feel like Jiren's gatekeeper energy is more impactful than Moro's mustache tooling energy. But that's how I feel about it. Again, very, very hot take in the Dragon Ball community. This video might be used as like, do you see what Dragon Ball fans are now? They can't appreciate Moro in the future. But that's my personal opinion there. Let me know what you guys think about Moro versus Jiren. I already know there's a poll that I already made, but just let me know how y'all feel about that. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm thinking about making a top strongest video in the original format I did with Windows Movie Maker for One Punch Man Season 2. But, and also I'm thinking about doing a top strongest for Rick and Morty, but I'm thinking about doing that in a new style because I don't really feel like that needs like, you know, a top 30 or something. But again, you guys can talk about it because I've kept up with Rick and Morty since season 4. Well, no, season 1 through 4. And I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed try to make daily uploads and also because again I know you guys really want the top strongest videos, and like the views been kind of getting low. It's like the views been fluctuating, and I'm trying to figure out what you guys want to watch, so it's kind of irritating a bit. But yeah, I want to try to work on that. And if I do make the top strongest video for One Punch Man, because I'm going to try to add some anime footages even with season 2, because season 2 has some good scenes from time to time. Just letting you know that I might have to slow down the daily uploads a bit because I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed because I don't know how many ideas I can make. Because with a gaming channel, you can just, you know, do the same stuff over and over again. You can flow with different stuff. But when you're making content like I am, you got to create lists. You got to do certain stuff. It takes a little bit more brain power a little bit than I expected. So again, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comment section down below. I just don't want to keep hitting you guys with the same type of video over and over again when you get tired of it. Like if I make like the top 10 best Naruto fights, I don't want the next day to be the top 10 best Bleach fights, and I just eventually run out of animes and you guys want the same thing and I have anything to give you. I want to make sure I have different content. But again, that's how I feel about things. So yeah, hope you guys have a nice day. Please stay safe. SonTj, peace. Love you all.